Hi there, this is Diecast channel, and in this video we're going to do a review on this 1961 Soto adventure made in a 1/18 scale by Yatming. So stay with me to the end of this video. Don't forget to subscribe my channel in case you haven't subscribed yet. Give me a thumbs up, share this video, and also click the bell for news. So let's unbox this car and take a better look at its details right now. The 1961 Soto Adventure was the last model made by a division by Chrysler. It was made back in 1960. November 1960, consumers received a telegram from Chrysler stating that the Soto division was about to quit. These were the last DeSotos back in 1960s as 1961 models. This is a DeSoto Adventure. That's a 2-door hardtop, and there were also 4-door hardtops, the only two configurations that were available for this car. It had the Torque Flight push-button automatic transmission by Chrysler, which was a very functional and innovative, and also those fins and lines that were very typical of Chryslers. These diagonal headlights were quite similar to the ones we find in Lincoln Continentals back in 1958 and 59. They were also used in Chrysler division cars. The Soto division was named after the Spanish explorer Hernando de Soto, who discovered the Mississippi River back in 1541. I'm not going to go through Hernando's life since our focus here is the car itself. This division was created back in the 1920s and was placed between Plymouth and Chrysler divisions, which were the basic and the top divisions of Chrysler Corporation that existed at the time. In 1928, Chrysler Corporation acquired Dodge Brothers Company, and Dodge became one more division of Chrysler Corporation that would be above DeSoto and below Chrysler. So we would have Plymouth division as the basic division, DeSoto as an intermediate division, Dodge as an intermediate to a top division, and Chrysler as a top division with the most luxurious models. In the 1930s, DeSoto has launched the Airflow that also became the Chrysler Airflow. This car was considered somewhat ugly. It was a car with very rounded lines, but it was very innovative at the time. It was very aerodynamic and also very comfortable, very tough. Chrysler Airflow was also innovative in the aspect that started having the engine over the front axle instead of being behind the front axle. And the cabin, the passenger cabin, was placed between the axles, so the car would have a smoother and more comfortable ride, and the passengers would sit in a lower position than the previous models. But that was back in the 1930s. Chrysler also started having unibody construction that made cars more rugged by having a structure welded to the body instead of being a body over frame and bolted on a frame. It's very hard to talk about the Soto division without talking about three aspects many car enthusiasts unfortunately don't know. One of them is DeSoto was a Chrysler division. The second one is there were a lot of car manufacturers in the United States back in time, especially in the 1920s and 30s, many more than the three biggest ones. And also that most divisions that are part of the greatest car manufacturers, such as Oldsmobile, Pontiac, Buick, were actually independent companies that were acquired and merged into one corporation. This model car is made by Yatming at a 1/18 scale with a very nice quality for a basic to intermediate model. It unfortunately doesn't have an opening trunk, but it has opening doors and opening hood, and the doors have a very realistic opening. It's got a very nice style and a very nice color with a very good paint job. Very good quality chromes with good reproductions of grille, headlights, taillights, trims, logos, wheels and tires. We're going to see through its details right now. The very nice, modern, and revolutionary front of the Soto back in 1961. Actually, in 1960, sold as 1961. This car had a very unique style that's the kind that you either love or hate. I personally like it. The 1961 DeSoto's engine bay, this car has died in November 1960 as a 1961 model. It had a 361 cubic inch V8 engine with a 265 HP. It's got the cables, air filter pan, the valve covers as separate parts. The engine and the engine bay are cast into a single part, but it's not cheaply made. It's pretty well made with pretty good details. The alternator is pretty well reproduced, and the radiator with the radiator cap and the front panel, this water vault, and the battery, brake master cylinder, and the engine bay itself, that looks pretty good. The hinges are not like the original ones in the real car, but still look pretty well made. A very nice looking interior for the Soto with a very innovative steering wheel, 2 pedals. This car had a torque flight automatic transmission push button system. The buttons are right here on the dashboard. The buttons, knobs, instruments, and trims on the dashboard were pretty well made. And the mirror is on the dashboard instead of being at the top. We also have a very realistic pattern for the seats, the tilting seats, with a different pattern for the driver. Doors also have a realistic opening, and the mirror on the fender is in a good proportion. Door panels also look very nice. Pretty honest model car. Horizontal speedo that's atop the dashboard just like a satellite unit. A radio in the center of the dashboard. And the third pedal right far left, that's the parking brake. The seat's texture that looks very realistic. And the right side back of the seat that also tilts. And it's 2/3 for 1/3 for the driver. This interior looks very nice and very stylish. Differentiated driver and passengers units in the front seat. The driver's back of the seat is a little bit higher and completely different from the other one, but still has a harmony with that. Door and side panels. And this car has no headlight. So the rear end that won't deny the Chrysler's DNA, since those fins, trunk lid, bumper, taillights really resemble the ones in the other divisions of Chrysler. Tail lights are made in chrome and painted on, and the chrome shines through. They look like acrylic. The retracted antenna that looks pretty realistic. Trunk lid that looks very nice and looks very realistic compared to the one in the real thing. It's very well cast in metal, although it's a fixed part, it doesn't open. And the trim that's very well reproduced, very good transparency for the rear window. And the Soto letters, they're made in very good quality decals. The paint is also very well made. Those reverse lights are made in chrome. They look pretty realistic in this texture. And the trim between them also looks very nice in the body color with a license plate in the center. The bumper with the bumper guards also look realistic. It doesn't have any flashings, any issues at all. And we have a single exhaust with a single exhaust tip for this car. Very good looking base. For this car, they've made an engine in an upper part and a lower part. The upper part being cast on the engine bay piece and the lower part being cast on the chassis piece. This is a unibody car, so we see the front subframe, a rear and front suspensions which do not work, as well as a drive shaft that does not spin. The gas tank has a pretty good realism. The muffler is a single muffler, and it's made in chrome. Perhaps it should be aluminum color, but chrome is okay. Trims around the wheel wells are painted on, and these ones are separate parts, but they're very well put together and integrated. Wheels and tires also look great. The engine and tranny could be an engine color, and tranny would be perhaps aluminum color, and they're all cast in one piece. That's the undercarriage as a whole. Overall, it's a well-made undercarriage with pretty good detail and a pretty good quality for a basic to intermediate model car. Rating this car from 0 to 10, I would give it a 9. It's a basic to intermediate model car. It just won't take a 10 because it doesn't have an open trunk lid. It could have an open trunk lid with no problems at all, since several basic to intermediate model cars have this feature. But the other features, on the other hand, are very well made in this car, and it's got some pretty good realism and pretty good quality, and Yatming has done a very good job with this car. So I'd like to thank you for all likes and views, for all subscriptions. Please don't forget to give me your thumbs up and share this video, and let me know down in your comments what you think about the video and about the car. And do you have any further information on the Soto division? Did you know the Soto was a Chrysler division actually? Let me know down in your comments. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.